Hello, friends, and welcome. Trying to make some shorter meditation videos as I've had requests for that. So hopefully this is going to come in at between 5 and 10 minutes for you. And hopefully everyone can find that time in their day. So we're going to start by just doing a little rocking motion. You can't see my pelvis, but I'm just taking my frontal hip points and I'm rocking a little forward on them and then a little bit back. Yeah. And in doing so, when I rock my hips forward, I come onto the front of my buttocks bones. And when I rock my hips back, I rock onto the back of my buttocks bones. And hopefully you can kind of then feel them when you're specifically rocking on them. Yeah. And then make that motion a little smaller and a little smaller and a little smaller until you end up hopefully right in the middle of all of that. So you'll end up on the very middle of what are called the ischial tuberosities, right? Close the eyes once you get settled in. You might already have them closed. Wonderful. And as those buttocks bones root down, think of the spine just really gently stacking one bone on top of the other. And follow that nice and slowly until you end up following it all the way up. Oh, pardon me. I'm so sorry. In between the ears. And that's where the very top of the cervical spine is, the neck spine. That head, imagine it as a helium balloon, as if it was weightless and wanted to just gently float up to the sky. And then checking into those periphery areas and making sure that they are not rigid, contracted, tight. Yeah. So softening the muscles of the face. Softening the neck and the throat. Those shoulders, let them soften down away from the ears. Softening through the arms, all the way down to the hands and the fingers. Soften the chest and the upper back and let that continue on down through that middle rib cage area and down into the belly and the low back. Check in with your hips. And then scan through the legs till you end up down on your feet and your toes. And today we're going to bring our awareness back up to the nostrils, the very base of the nostrils. And then we're going to try to feel the air as it enters and exits the body. And there's a couple of tools that I think are really handy for this work, especially if you're newer to it. One is really simple. You can literally bring your fingers up and you can touch the rim of the nostrils and just give the physical sensation so that the mind can, what I call, map that area, right? So it can be just that simple. And then you feel the base of the nostrils. Now, when you inhale, can you feel the air come in where you just passed, where you just touched? And the same would be true on the exhale. Can you feel it come out? Full of yawns, evidently. I apologize. Another tool is to notice that when you breathe the air in, it's cooler than when you breathe the air out. When it's warmer, your body is warmed up. So you might tune into the temperature of the breath. And then another tool for my friends who are still struggling to kind of identify or feel that is right on the top edge of the lip, where my it's very small, but still have that hair growing up, kind of mustache area, right? You might be able to feel the air against that part of the body. And then we're going to start to imagine And then we can follow that air, but instead of following it down to the lungs, we're going to inhale, follow the air from the base of the nostrils all the way up to between your eyebrows, right on the inside of the head there, right behind that eyebrow center. And then exhale and imagine that you're following that life force, I'm going to call it, from between your eyebrows down through the nostrils. And do that with each breath. I'll repeat it. When you inhale, imagine that breath coming in from the base of the nostrils, following it up. But instead of following it down to the lungs, we continue to go up with our awareness to that space right behind the eyebrows, the connection of the eyebrows. And when you exhale, you're following it from that eyebrow center down and out through the nostrils. Now, the next time that you inhale and you bring that awareness up to the eyebrow center with the inhale, you're going to pause and stay there. Please keep breathing. Continue to exhale and then inhale and exhale again. But leave your awareness at that place right behind where your eyebrows connect. You might notice the back of the eyelids. Maybe there are images or colors. Maybe it's just black because you're in a dark room or there's no light. And then bring that awareness back to the eyebrow center. And we have one more stop, friends. And that is if I were to draw a line from between your eyebrows to the back of your head, through your skull, through your brain, right? And I took another line and I drew it from above one ear to above the other ear, approximately where those two lines intersect. We're going to call that the middle of your mind. Yeah. So go ahead and slide that awareness from the eyebrow center back on that line that goes towards the back of the head until that intersection of the line above the ears, and then pause right there and try to keep the awareness right there in the mind. And of course, the mind will get distracted. Label that thinking, and then just so gently, right? The return. We're the most interested in the return, coming back to the middle of the mind. Imagine it open and expansive and receptive, just like the mouth after a yawn. Let's bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra, right in front of the heart. Inhale. With an exhale, go ahead and bow your head in, and just taking a moment there, giving yourself that beautiful gift of recognizing that you gave yourself this space and time, right? Just being as kind and compassionate and loving to ourselves as John O'Donohue says, be excessively gentle with yourself. And that's my wish for you today and every day. Namaste, friends. And I hope you can fit that into your day, maybe a couple of times a day, maybe every day. The more we do it, the more health benefits we get. But I think you all know that you just need to show up and do it. It's the hardest part. Trust me, I know. Love you. Bye-bye.